Hi, everyone, and welcome back. And I'm with Supervisor Richard Forster.
Hi, Tom.
We'll be talking about tomorrow's meeting for the board. Before we get to your agenda, why don't you talk a little bit about the news story we had with RCRC weighing in a little bit on the counties and the state proposals. I guess there's two different proposals for how to handle the folding in of Medicare, Medi-Cal, and the Affordability Care Act.
Right. And a lot of this involves the realignment dollars that are coming back to the county for health care and go to our social services, mental health, and behavioral health departments.
Is that called realignment also?
It's all in the new realignment proposal by the governor. And I think county supervisors have learned their lesson from AB 109 and the deal where they pushed inmates back to counties, and they said counties can do it cheaper. Well, it's almost like fool me once, shame on you, but fool me twice, because now they're saying the same thing with health care and with the dollars, that counties can do it much cheaper than the state. So what we're going to do is give the responsibility to all 58 counties individually, and then they, by the way, they don't need that much money from realignment dollars, so we're going to keep some of that money at the state.
Is that money coming for the affordable health care for this folding in of Medicare, Cal? And is that going to be from the federal government? From what we
some
hear?
of it, but some of it is a match that goes to the state and realignment dollars. We just don't know yet. CSAC, at their board of directors meeting last week, California State Association of Counties did not take a position because these proposals have just come out. But I can tell you, I sensed in the room and I heard supervisors were very uneasy with the proposals because, as Greg Cox, who's a senior supervisor from San Diego, said, I don't know how 58 counties individually can run it better than one body in Sacramento administering the program. And I think he's exactly right. And then they're saying we're going to take more of the money, more of your tax money that you give us, that we were giving you for realignment, we're going to keep more of that. It just doesn't work, and I think supervisors have learned their lesson with AB 109 and what's happened with our county jails that have now become county prisons.
So is the realignment now a combined term to include the county jails and this
No,
new?
there's separate forms of realignment. Realignment handles...
But the same word, is that what it is?
They use that in different equations. In this case, it's strictly for what comes back to the county for health care services.
Almost sounds like it could be for confusion, as it seems to be a confusing word since it's used in something else. Okay, Richard, when is all of this going to happen? When will the new system be in place?
Well, very quickly. As you reported, they're changing laws right now. I would expect by mid-year they're going to have most of this in place. Counties have to decide, and our state organizations, RCRC and CSAC, have to decide whether they're going to push back on the governor. The good news is there are legislators that are uneasy about this too, because they don't want the system to break down. And the fear from supervisors is if you throw it all to the counties, we sure aren't going to be able to do it cheaper. And you have an organized way to handle it now. The money comes out from the state to counties. You know exactly what you get. If the state's going to cut dollars and give more responsibility to the counties, that's making a lot of supervisors very uneasy, and state legislators at the same time.
Okay, maybe we'll have you do some program on that, because along with this, we also have a shortage in doctors.
That's correct. But I think we have to wait a little bit here, because that's exactly what CSAC is doing, is they're waiting to see what some of these other proposals are going to be before they either call special meetings themselves or decide. No position was taken the other day because this is too premature, it's too juvenile of an issue right now. They need to let it develop a little bit, but not go too far if we decide to oppose it at the state levels.
Okay. Why don't we take our break at this time, and when we come back, we'll give you the second portion for the update on tomorrow's meeting, Richard. Stay with us right here on TSPN.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back. And Supervisor Richard Forster is going to go over tomorrow's agenda. Go ahead, Richard.
Fairly short agenda. Have some items that may take some time to discuss, though. First one up is Susan Manning will be in with APAL Humane Society and discussing their spay-neuter release program for feral cats.
Where does the money for that come from? Is it just in a general, like in a general fund? Does the state give any monies towards that?
Well, we give them a set amount. As I understand it, that amount hasn't been used for this program. Now, Susan will clarify that tomorrow. But as I understand it, too, it looks like she wants some of it to be used, a partnership with the county to be used for this. She points out some very good figures here. The graphs that she has show that the population of cats at the shelter is going down. So less, excuse me, less animals have to be euthanized. The only thing that's a little confusing is in one of her charts, it shows that adoptions are way up. So is it the adoptions or is it the feral cat spay and neuter program?
Doesn't either one take their services to perform, whether there's people to adopt the cats or people that are doing the
they both
euthanizing?
Both require spay neuter, but adoptions have gone way up, while the euthanasias have gone, or the impounds have gone down slightly. So, and by slightly, we're talking pretty close to a little slightly over 200 impounds for cats. So we need that question answered. She points out Sacramento was very aggressive with this program, and their numbers went down substantially. So there seems to be some evidence, and in fact they saw over a 25% reduction of their intake of cats there. I don't think we're as aggressive on that program here because APAL primarily runs it by themselves. But the board's going to hear the report, and then we're going to talk about the funding. She's not asking for additional funding, but is some of the money that the county gives to APAL being used for this program now.
Okay.
Next up, we have ACRA coming in. Tracy Towner will be coming in and speaking to a vehicle. This is a small pickup, an extended cab 4x4 Ranger 2002 that we intend to sell to ACRA, but at the same time, the value that we placed on it, $4,500, is probably $1,500 to $2,000 less than what we could get on the open market for it. ACRA being a quasi-governmental agency, we're trying to work together, and county has reduced its per capita amount of dollars that goes to ACRA on a yearly basis. It used to be $5 per capita, and now I think it's been a 20% reduction, so it's $4 per capita now. So we're trying to show good faith effort here that we will continue to work with ACRA even though we're not fully funding the $5 per capita.
Okay.
So Tracy's going to talk about this. They already have the vehicle, so the decision needs to be made. Do we go with this or not? It requires a 4/5 vote of the board because it is a change in the budget, and it is money that is not going to go into our motor pool at the county. So it's a little bit less money that will go there, but if it helps what I would consider somewhat of a sister organization in the county, I think it's a good move. And ACRA does a lot of good work in the county as far as they administered the Prop 40 grants that came in, and they take care of a lot of the facilities in the county.
Right.
Next up, we have Environmental Health Department. Mike Israel will be coming in and talking about certain fees within his department that he is asking that we adjust. This has been a long process. Initially, he brought in the whole schedule of department fees that he has for adjustment. The last time this was done, I believe he said, was in 2006, 2005-06. So what we're looking at specifically here are 4 areas for adjustment. Most of these are caused by changes in state law. First one is AB Assembly Bill 1616 that passed that now requires foods that are prepared in private homes and then sold to either retailers or sold to individuals, that they have to be inspected. There's a new permit fee there. That costs the Environmental Health Department money, whether they are compensated for that with fees or not. So he's proposing a $55 fee there for the low-risk Class A foods is how they're designated. Second one is because of AB 1130, which involves the CUPAs, or the Certified Unified Program Agencies, and new fees that have gone in there for above-ground petroleum storage tanks. Another new law that the state passed, so another adjustment is being asked for in that area. And this is what Mike does is come up with a 5-county average. Then he proposes a target fee for us and gives his estimated cost. everyone that he's proposing pretty much is below that that estimated cost of service that he's got to provide the county, Mike and his staff.
Could you give me an example of what kind of person be a private person that would make food for? Sounds like for restaurants or something like that, or
you know, they're called cottage food businesses. Let's say, for instance, let's say at the I Own Homecoming, if someone makes foods to come in and sell to the general public, they're supposed to have a permit for that.
okay,
It'd be something like that. There are people that make other things, and then they sell them to retail businesses who pass them along from there. But primarily, it's going to be those people that sell as a business. So if they're not 100% business and just selling a one-time, they're probably not going to get a permit. But that's kind of the way I envision it, the way Mike would have to regulate.
So these people don't need commercial kitchens, in other words.
No,
Okay.
they don't need any of that. It's kind of mom and pop type stuff. Let's say the one along where the Italian Picnic is. They sell some things there, some food items. Let's say if they sell jams or things like that, they probably would need a permit to do something like that. If a person has a roadside stand that they have open all the time, they probably would need a permit for a mom and pop.
Okay.
Other areas are body art.
Are they going to be required to have labeling of content and all that?
I don't know about that. Mom and pop, most of them have something, but whether, you know, I've seen some that have nothing on them too. They just have a little card or something. Other one was AB 300, which required more inspections on body art, tattoo parlors and things like that. So there's another fee adjustment there being asked for. And the last one is land use and development, where Mike's trying to run this like Public Works run their area. When someone submits a map, they have to put a deposit up, so that the department, as they do inspections of the material coming in, they can draw off that deposit. When that $1,000 deposit runs out, they would have to put up another $1,000 deposit. After the project is done, and there's two ways here, the end of a subdivision project would be recordation of all phases or withdrawal of the map. If there's any dollars left at that time, they would get those dollars refunded to them. And then the end of a EIR project would be after any appeal or litigation window following certification of the project, or project withdrawal also. So at that point, they get a refund on their money, or if there's nothing left, they get nothing. So with that, the last item on the agenda, Chuck Eiley, our County Administrative Officer, is going to be giving a report on the budget. I think he'll have his numbers all put down this week and ready to tell us about where we are. Last I heard, it was not real rosy, but he thinks he will be able to balance the budget down the road.
Okay, so the state's in better budget situation than it was last year?
Well, the state says they're better off than they were because of the proposition passing and all the taxes that have gone up. But, you know, the state is still coming after the county, and Governor Brown and his staff still have this thing stuck in their head that says counties can do it cheaper than the state can. Well, counties cannot always do it cheaper than the state can. And I'd like to get into the governor's head and try and make him understand that. Part of it is he was never a local government person. He started at the state level running for office. I mean, he went back to the city of Oakland as the mayor, but that's not really small local government.
Right.
Most counties and cities operate far differently than a city like Oakland, that has all of its problems and close to bankruptcy, and then they have all their entitlement programs to administer. We just don't have those issues, but we try to live within our means. And when the governor keeps, as the one report you said from a legislator said, don't pull the rug out from counties, that's kind of the way we see this. And I could see a lot of trepidation from county supervisors at the two meetings I was in last week, where a lot of them just sit and shake their head that here it comes again. The same thing that the governor and the state did on AB 109.
You don't get the administrative costs. You can't spread those out between the counties. Could the counties come up with, say, one administrator idea for that, and maybe several counties use it?
Well, the way they propose it at the state and the way it turns out in counties is always different. AB 109 is a perfect example where they said, we're going to give you this much money, and the governor promised he was going to keep giving that money. Now, I think they promised through 2016. After that, counties will probably be on their own, the way I'm looking at it and the way I see county and state government working, the relationship.
Okay, and I'm a little curious myself because I thought we were going to get federal dollars for the implementation of the Obamacare.
It always sounds good. Always sounds
okay, right. Richard.
All right,
thanks a lot for stopping by. We're going to take a break, and then we'll be back here on the news on TSPN.
You're watching Amador County's #1 news and sports leader, TSPN.